So, welcome to Friday and welcome to Friday Findings with Nareen Savit MS. I am Nareen, and of course, considering it's Friday Findings, I do share about a lot of stories that do happen in the world of multiple sclerosis, and considering that I do share them only on Fridays with literally the first few links that I do come across on Google News. There definitely is a lot of news. There is definitely a lot of news that I might not come across, but of course, if you do know it and if you do want to share it, please post it in the comment section so that we can get that conversation started as well. So today I do have two amazing stories to share with you. The first one being, of course, that Lupin Pharmaceuticals, which is based in India, has gotten approval for developing a generic drug for Siponimod, which is better known as Mayzent. Now there are quite a few people that might be on Mayzent and that might actually derive a lot of benefits from Mayzent. So I definitely think that there would be people who probably do qualify for getting Mayzent or are probably the right people to get Mayzent, but are not able to do so as a result of the cost of the medication. And now, considering that there has been approval for production for a generic version of Mayzent, I'm so glad to be able to say that there is something to look forward to, that there is a way to get your desired treatment at a much cheaper cost. So that is my first story that I do have to share. I'm sorry I'm going by with all of these stories so fast. Please do put in your inputs, share your comments in the comment section below so that we can get this conversation started. The second big news that I do have is Lynk Pharmaceuticals. Lynk Pharmaceuticals is a pharmaceutical company that has gotten FDA approval for testing or actually conducting trials for an oral drug um, that they have currently called LNK 01006, if I'm not wrong over here. But of course, considering this is an oral therapy, and of course, a lot of people are much more, um, you know, much more akin to trying oral therapies as a result of maybe a cheaper cost, or maybe if they want to try something because nothing has currently worked for them. There is definitely a little more hope out there. And I definitely do want to also state that, um, knowing that, there are still new forms of treatment being available to MS patients, definitely does make the future a much brighter place, because each time that a new therapy is found or a new therapy is developed, we get just that much closer to finding a cure. And I'm pretty sure, like me, you definitely do want to see a cure being found for MS or any such autoimmune conditions, which do leave patients of that condition with certain issues that does become a little hard to overcome. So I'm so glad that Link Pharmaceuticals was able to get this approval to try out their own oral drug, which has been coded with LNK 01006. So that is the third one, the second story I had. And because I do realize that I'm going through these stories at a very fast pace, I do want to give a shout out to Kathleen Roy. Now, Kathleen Roy has been an MS patient. She started experiencing symptoms in 2017, or maybe it was 2018. If she does go on YouTube and she comes across um, my video, I hope she understands that this is a huge thing. So after all of these years of experiencing the symptoms, and of course having gone through diagnosis, and of course a certain amount of treatment, she ended up completing a half marathon. And this happened in October of 2025. So this is something that is relatively new, and of course is one story to definitely show you that, despite having conditions like MS, conditions that do definitely leave you with a lot more negative feelings in your brain, there is definitely hope for all of us. And Kathleen Roy, I do want to say, even if you do not get this message, or if you do not see this video, that, you know, um, people like me, definitely other MS patients like me, will definitely look up to you as a role model to be the next person to follow in your footsteps, practically, almost literally. So that, we also can pretty much break any sort of any preconceived notions about what MS does, what MS is. And of course, not all of us can maybe follow you in the exact ways, but of course, knowing that there are wins like that for MS is the reason that I actually started this channel in the first place. So of course, kudos to you, and I hope you do continue to do great things like this. And of course, before I end all of these things, Kathleen Roy initially was a huge event organizer for very large scale celebrity events. So, she is definitely not. Um, she is definitely not a stranger to being in the limelight, but I'm pretty sure this is definitely a much brighter and a much warmer limelight to be in, to be able to conduct, to be able to accomplish something so big, at a time, in a condition that of course is so debilitating. And with that said, I do want to conclude this Friday Findings episode with just saying that please do put in your inputs, do share your insights, do put in your experiences, so that we can get the conversation started. More so than that, do give in your 2 cents about what you think about this series, what you think about my channel overall, and definitely um, what you think I can add or remove from this channel, so that we definitely do see a lot more people coming to this channel to get their um, little bit of positivity, even regarding something as dark as MS. So thank you so much. Hope you have a great weekend, and good night, everyone.